Hello everybody, this is Mary Catherine. This is My Own Little House. And it's so nice to have you here today. I've been having lots of fun the last few days with natural dyeing. And I'm going to share with you the dyeing that I did with Goldenrod and the dyeing that I did with Marigold. I had to look at it to remember what it was. The Marigold gave this gorgeous, rich, chartreuse color. If you know what chartreuse is, it's this combination of yellow and olive. It's kind of gold and olive green at the same time. So I've been using my Wild Color book by Jenny Dean again. She's so helpful. Well, this morning I went out and cut a lot of my comfrey leaves. I have 2 good-sized comfrey plants. I cut off all of the imperfect leaves. Anything that had a rip or a tear was a little brown, a little old. I cut off all the old leaves, all the damaged leaves, and then I scrubbed them off. And now I brought them to a boil in some water, and then I've turned it down to a simmer. I'm going to let them kind of stew there because the leaves are tough. Comfrey leaves are tough and thick, so they have to stew for a while to let go of their dye. And then I have some more of that fin roving from the woolery that is soaking. I'm not going to use a mordant. I'm going according to Jenny Dean's book, okay? So here's, generally speaking, the 4 colors that you can achieve. If you just use the dye stuff, you'll get this olive green. If you add, let me see, this is if you use a mordant, you'll get something a little bit darker and a little less olivey, a little more green. I like that, but I think I like this better. And this is if you don't use a mordant, but you do add some iron water. Well, I've got lots of homemade iron water, and so I'm going to put that into my dye bath and see if I can get a nice, it might not be that dark, but I hope it's a little bit darker. I'd love to get a nice dark green. So that's what I'll be doing today. I'm also making some more healing herb ointment. I have sold out totally of this ointment at the farmer's market on Saturday, and I need new. It's difficult to find plantain growing this type of year. I have to forage for it in my yard and along the side of the road. But I did go find enough to make another batch. And I simmered it all day yesterday in mason jars in a double boiler. And so today I'm straining it out, adding the beeswax, the rest of the ingredients, and it'll be done. So thanks for joining me. Now we're going to look at some dyeing that I did this week. I have been collecting flower heads of marigolds. Beautiful red and golden marigolds from my herb garden for really the whole summer, for months. And I've been deadheading them pretty faithfully and drying them, and then they continue to bloom. And we're just about to get to the end of the blooming season. This is my pot of dried marigold for a dye bath. This is the page from Jenny Dean's book about dyeing marigolds. Now, I would love to get some kind of a red or something, but these are the colors that you can get. I'd love to get something like that. Now here is the little key. I had to remind myself because I haven't looked at this book in months. The little black bucket is if you just use the dye stuff. If the little white bucket is added as a symbol, that means that you've used an alum mordant ahead of time. Now, the other kind of gray little buckets that you see there, that is if you add an iron modifier. So, looking at these, if I just use the flowers, I could have gotten something like this. But I did leave the plant tops in there, so I'm going to get something more green. I am going to put the yarn in that I've just recently done in, remember in that ammonia fermentation method that didn't do anything in the lichen. I'm going to use it, and it has been treated with alum, so hopefully I'll get something kind of like that. Boy, wouldn't it be fun to get that orange though? Well, look at this. This is what happened when I put That very same fiber that I put into the AFM dye bath that did nothing, I put it into Marigold, the Marigold dye bath. Now it's come out this, it's really gorgeous. At first I thought it was going to be an olive green, but there's a goldy, greeny. I tell you, natural dyes give you the most unusual colors. Like, I'm looking at this on the camera and I'm looking at it in real life, and the colors are not the same. In the camera, it's more green. In real life, it's just more gold. That's really exciting. I think today I may try to go harvest some goldenrod on the side of the road, just down the road from us, and see what that gives me. I'm real pleased with that. Here is the Shetland. That's the Golden Locks, really long staple. And this, what did I say? Is this Jacob? Not sure. So I strolled down the road past the traffic in my farm boots with my bucket and my little clippers and found some goldenrod. Now, I couldn't get as much as I wanted because there's a ditch along the side of the road and it was all growing on the other side of the ditch. So I just had to get what I could reach, but I got enough to give it a try. Right now I am clipping more of the greenery away so that I'm left with just the yellow flowers, which is, I want to get as much of a yellow color as I can. Now I have it in water and I'm going to put it in a very low temperature. I read today somewhere that with flowers you want to be very careful about temperature and keep it quite low, and so I think I'll give that a try today. I'm never going to let it boil, maybe only just steam. So there is the goldenrod dye bath. Now it doesn't look yellow, but boy, I tell you, it gave a beautiful yellow color to the fin wool, the fin top wool that I put in there. And so I am going to take this Shetland that I dyed in dandelion, but it really didn't give much of a yellow color. And I'm going to put it in the exhaust in there and see what it does. This is what was dyed in marigold. This is the roving, the Kent Romney. And this is the clean but uncarded Shetland. This wool is Finn from the Woolery, and it was dyed in goldenrod. Isn't that beautiful? Hey everybody, what's on my needles today? Let's see. I picked up this yarn at the thrift store. It's an interesting, pretty color, kind of a pumpkiny, orangey, brown, very fall. And I decided I'd make some fingerless gloves with it to sell at the market. So it is a super chunky yarn, and these are, I believe these are size 10 needles. And I cast on 20 stitches, leaving myself a bit of a tail. Oh, no, here's the tail over here, to stitch up the smitten after I'm done, the glove. And then I did, after I cast on 20 stitches, I did 3 rows of ribbing, which is just alternating knit and purl. And you can see the alteration here. I did 2 of each. So here's 2 knit stitches, 2 purl stitches, 2 knit stitches, 2 purl stitches. And that's what gives you your ribbing. And then when you turn and do the opposite side, you have to make sure that they are the same stitches over there. It's very easy, especially in a big yarn, to see the difference between the V of the knit stitch and the little bumpy bean look of the purl stitch. Well, my goal of this is to have a cable running up the back of the hand on this smitten. Oh, I will say one thing I love about using circular needles with a cable is that when I cast on those 20 stitches, I could just pull the work around and make sure that it fit me. I just really, really like that. Sorry, I'm filming this in the living room on the couch without a tripod. Anyway, so that's my project today, and I've got a nice book to help me find the cable that I want, and I've got a little stitch holder, and I'm listening to some lovely Celtic harp music, and I'm going to have a cup of tea here any second. This morning I'm going to trim back this big hydrangea bush. You can see how it was one bush, and then it expanded into a second, which is great. But it's too big, not blooming well, and it's been touching the house. Now, I've already actually hacked it back a lot here. This was actually taller than that. And the one, its sister bush over here, again, expanded into a second and then a third. But I've already cut it back. Hopefully it'll grow again in the spring and give me better flowers. Oh, hello, little cutie. I'm gonna go take you to live back outside, okay? Oh. Okay, so here is my supposed comfrey dye. You can see a little bit of the iron water, the dried iron water in there. It has a vague greenish gray tint, but man, it is not what I was hoping for. It looks a little greener on the camera than it does in real life. Well, that's how it is with natural dye. This one is a bit of a disappointment, and I continue to have difficulty getting a green. I hope you enjoyed that video. I've really enjoyed getting back into dyeing this week, and a little spinning too. I'm going to try to get rid of some of this fiber that I have in my studio and turn it into yarn. I'll see you next week. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.